Welcome back. The details. Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri held a joint press conference with Turkish counterpart Mevlut Cavusoglu following talks in Cairo in his first visit to Egypt in more than 10 years. Details.
Egypt and Turkey took another step towards mending relations on Saturday when Ankara's top diplomat visited Cairo for the first time since ties were ruptured a decade ago. At a joint news conference with his Turkish counterpart, Egypt top diplomat Sameh Shukri said the talks with Turkey on the possibility of restoring ties to ambassadorial level would happen at the appropriate time. He said that the talks had been honest, deep and transparent. These positive results, Shukri noted, started with finding as common visions on many issues including bilateral relations and regional topics. Mevlut Cavusoglu said Turkey would upgrade its diplomatic relations with Egypt to ambassador level as soon as possible, expressing happiness that concrete steps are taken for normalizing relations with Egypt, stressing that they will do their best not to rupture ties again in the future. Last month, Shukri, in a show of solidarity after the massive earthquake that killed more than 50,000 people in Turkey and Syria, the first visit to Turkey by Egypt top diplomat since relations soured. Egypt has provided aid to Turkey following the quake, with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi expressing in a phone call with his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan his condolences for the victims. Shukri said that there is a political will and directives from the presidents of both countries when they met in Doha to launch the path towards a full normalization of talks and relations. This came as business never stopped between the two countries. In 2022, Turkey was the largest importer of Egyptian products, totaling $4 billion. As many as 200 Turkish companies are currently operating in Egypt with an investment volume of 2 billion Egyptian pounds. The Turkish business delegation, which visited Egypt recently, expressed to Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli their gratitude for the full support Turkish investments receive in Egypt. The delegation stressed that Turkish companies in Egypt have not faced any discrimination from the government based on nationality in the past 15 years.
The Armed Forces Chief of Staff General Osama Askar received on Saturday visiting Qatari counterpart Salim bin Hamad bin Aqil and his accompanying delegation. The meeting dealt with discussing issues of joint interest in light of the military cooperation ties, in addition to the bilateral coordination and means to enhance them. The two chiefs of staff presided over the closing session of the first meeting of the Egyptian-Qatari Military Committee in presence of a number of commanders of the armed forces of both countries. During the meeting, Askar stressed Egypt's keenness to promote the military cooperation and exchange expertise with Qatar, referring to the consensus of visions on joint plans for the benefit of the armed forces of both countries. For his part, Qatar Chief of Staff highlighted the importance of boosting joint military drills during the coming period to achieve the mutual interests of both peoples. The two Chiefs of Staff also toured a number of military units. Minister of Defense and Military Production, General Mohammed Zaki, witnessed on Saturday the discussion of the main research of the Military Research Institution. The research was entitled The National Strategy to Develop the Comprehensive State Powers in Light of International and Regional Changes to Maintain National Security. The event was also attended by Army Chief of Staff General Osama Askar, Minister of Planning Dr. Hala Saeed, as well as commanders of main army branches, academics, media figures, and university students. A large number of strategic experts and veteran researchers in the field of national security, public figures, and thinkers participated in preparing the research, which presented valuable recommendations and mechanisms to maintain the state's national security in light of global changes. The Minister of Defense also conveyed to the participants the greetings of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, hailing efforts exerted to finalize the research and its importance in supporting the state, asserting the necessity of following up the latest scientific methods to face different challenges. The Armed Forces launched an initiative entitled See It Yourself to enable the university students to witness the pace of work in different national mega projects all over the country. In the first days of the initiative, a trip was organized for the students to visit the Food Industry City or Silo Foods, and another for the silos in the Protected Industries Complex in Mohammed Naguib Military Base in Matruh. The students expressed their happiness and pride of what they had seen themselves, hailing the construction of these huge projects to fulfill the needs of the local markets and to export the surplus production in a tangible boost to the national economy in various domains.